So hi, how are you doing today? I'm laughing because it's early in the morning where I am in Houston when I recorded this, and I have this one hair that will not sit down. And so I'm supposed to be serious today. I have my big cup of coffee. I have on my business suit, at least from the waist up, and I want to talk really about organizations. And so I'm having lots of conversations with folks in terms of when are you going back and how are you going back and how are you going to get your folks back to the office. And a lot of folks are really struggling with that, and a lot of it has to do with sometimes managers are introverts but they are managing extroverts. And so I've come across a couple of companies that, if you can believe it or not, haven't even done video this entire time. So over 13 months now, or almost 13 months now, we've been living in this virtual world working from home. And that's great. They're saying that productivity is up and everything else. But really, what is the tie that binds? And when I say that, we have to form relationships with the folks that we work with. And so it's not a marriage, but it is kind of similar in that sometimes you spend more time with the folks that you work with than you do your actual family overall. And so you wouldn't go into a marriage not ever seeing one another, just doing phone calls. It's very similar to the work environment. And so I'm not saying that we have to go back to working exactly like we were working before. But at a very minimum, being able to look at one another, being able to call people in when it's safe, to be able to do team building and really get that glue and that culture back going again. Because otherwise, what's going to create the loyalty? I mean, what's going to keep your retention numbers up overall? And so if your employees get one quick offer from a competitor, what do you think the reality is if there's not some kind of connection to your organization? What is the reality that they are going to stay with you and be loyal at the end of the day? Or do they have the relationship with the manager where they can go in and they can say, "Hey, this is where I am. This is where I need to be." Can they get comfortable? I'm not sure that you can fully do that unless you have that connection space. In fact, I know you can't do it if you don't have that connection space. And I don't know that you can fully get there if you haven't at least been doing video for a while. And so it's a question that I have for you within your organization. Look, I don't have any answers. I kind of joke around, we all want to be like Johnny Carson, the great Karnak, in terms of, okay, I'm going to put this index card on my forehead and just assume that I know when everything's going to be like it was, or I don't think we're ever going to get back to where we were. But the reality is, are you paying attention to those things? What is your culture looking like? How are you bringing people back into the fold to get that connection overall? I know a lot of folks have been paying attention to it. They have some of my clients that have called me even in the middle of last year, and they're like, we have invested so much in our culture. We don't want to let that investment lapse. What can we do? And so we did virtual team building to keep everybody engaged, encouraging everybody to keep their video on and whatnot. And so as we are starting to come out, thinking about what kind of team building can we do, so then that way we can reignite some of these things, having really open and transparent conversation. Look, everyone's thresholds are going to be different, and so we have to be very respectful for that. But it's also making sure that the organizational culture is maintained and continued and evolves with the times, right? So I'm fascinated by this, as you can possibly see, and I have opinions, as you also know, but I'm also curious about how you are handling it. So reach out to me if you'd like to talk about this or any other topics. Springtime is here, and I hope that you are having enjoy it while it's here, right? I hope that you are having a wonderful week. You take good care and call if I can be of any assistance to you.